Hey everyone, it's Liz again, back with some more Flosstube for you. Uh, it has been a crazy couple of weeks, so I haven't gotten a ton of stitching done. Also, I went on a trip with my husband to Telluride a couple weeks ago. We went on a ski trip with some friends, and we were gone for a week. So I wasn't able to do a lot of my stitching during that time. I did take a few projects with me, and I'll note those as I get to them. But it did definitely change my stitching time. I am not a skier, by the way, just in case anybody wants to ask me about it. My friend and I actually sat in the condo. We went out and got drinks. We hung out. We did some shopping. So that's how I did Telluride. I didn't do any skiing, but my husband and his friend loved it. They had a great time. So, all right. So what is going on? First thing is WIPGO. For April, the numbers were 4 and 10. So for mine, 4 was something I haven't worked on yet this year. I've added that this year to make sure that I kind of work through as many of my WIPs as possible. And 10 is whatever was calling me. So I have not done number 10 yet. I'm saving that for the end of the month so that I can work on something that makes me happy. But the first one, something I haven't worked on yet this year, I chose the Mermaid by Teresa Wentzler. So this is what she'll look like when she's done. This is just such a beautiful pattern. Oh, there we go. She's a little less washed out if I turn it just slightly. Um, Beautiful pattern. This is an original kit from 1990 something. I actually had a friend purchase this. I know I've told that story before, so I won't tell it again, but I have been working on her for a bit. And here's where I'm at. It's so funny because her skin, where it hasn't been done yet, shows up so white. It looks crazy. It looks like it's been deleted or something. But here she is. I finished the picture part with all the regular cross stitch. So the picture part. Ay, ay, ay. It's Friday. My brain is no longer working, so sorry about that. But finished all down in here and the rocks and the waves. This is what I finished this week, and then I started that border at the bottom. So all I have left to do is the border at the bottom, her skin, which is 1/1, and all of the back stitching, and there's a couple beads and things in here. So that's all I have left to do, which is crazy. I can't believe I'm so far on this, and I love her. I've loved this one for a long time. Her skin looks kind of weird to me, the colors and things, but I'm learning this is just a Teresa Winsler thing. Like her eyes, the coloring is just a little strange, but whatever. It's still cool. I still love this project. The combined stitches, the number of stitches that are combined colors is daunting. And I definitely have to be in the right frame of mind for this one, but it looks amazing. So very cool. Love it. She's gonna go night-night though for a while, just until I'm ready to get another burst of energy on her. And then I'm gonna finish up that border. Then we're gonna do that crazy skin, which I probably shouldn't have saved for last, but eh. So that's the mermaid. And that is my first whip go for the month. The second one, I'll show you next time. All right. So another thing that I worked on was my chatelaine, which is the Ireland mandala. And I just fell in love with this pattern as soon as I saw it. And had to buy everything that goes with it right away. I am not very far on this, but if you've done a mandala, or any of these chatelaines, you know that anything you get done is a win because there's just so much. So here it is. It's not very much. Um, the colors in this, let me just fold it up a little bit more so that I can hold it in a way that I can show you better. The colors in this are really cool. Lots of blues and greens. It's just, this is such an interesting piece. I'm working it kind of straight out. So, You know, a lot of people will work all the cross stitches first and then come back and do all of the accents. I'm doing all those accents and specialty stitches as I go. You can see I've got some specialty stitches in the middle. They're kind of hard to see because they're similar color to the fabric here, but working them as I go. Firstly, because I don't want to miss anything. I'm really afraid that if I try to come back, I'm going to miss things. But then also I'm doing it that way just because it's more fun for me. I feel like it's a lot of fun to get to do all those, even the back stitching, all the specialty stitches, all that stuff at the same time. So that's how I'm doing it. So it doesn't look like a lot of progress, and that's okay. This is going to be, I think, one of those pieces that takes a long time for me to finish. So that's the mandala. One of the things that I took with me on my trip was Bayside Cottage. This is a little gold collection petite. These are great little projects if you're traveling, or if you're just in a space where you can't really bring out a whole project. I love these little dimension gold collections. This one I also take to the lake because I can sit on my boat and I can work on it. So here's what I have done on it. It's not much. I didn't get much stitching done. I did a little work up in here, but just another little stitchy project. I didn't have that much stitching time as I thought I would in Telluride. Also, I had just gotten Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the latest book in the Hunger Games, right before we left. So every spare moment I had in our condo, I was reading. I finished that book in like 3 days, I think. So yeah, and it was amazing. So that was also what I was doing. All right, so on to the bigger things. This week, after finishing up 5 days on my Teresa Wensler Mermaid, I pulled out my Pirates of the Caribbean because I don't know, I was just in the mood. So this could be the what's been calling me, honestly, for my next WIPGO, but I don't know. Here's where I'm at. I finished up the left side of William Turner's face, which he looks so much better with a whole face. Um, I gotta tell you, this is one of those projects where when you're doing like this stuff, especially if you stitch the way that I do, where I'm not stitching in blocks. I don't stitch in whole blocks. I pick a color, I do, an area, then maybe I hit the next color. Um, Boy, they look like crazy skeletons or something. I don't know when you're in the middle. But he looks great. The stuff that you're seeing out here to the side, that is the start of Johnny Depp's face. So, I started getting, I finished his face and then I was really excited to keep moving. So I've gotten quite a lot of stitches done on that. And those of you who have watched me for a bit know that I don't keep track of my stitches really. So I'm sorry for that, but I've spent 5 days on it so far. I might also stitch on it this weekend. And I think I've gotten a good 200 stitches a day done on it. So 1,000, I think that's fair. So for the total on this project, though, I am at 32,000. I've started keeping track of this, writing it down. 32,338 out of 233,500. So this piece is huge. That's 13.85% for you numbers people. So moving along there, I think what I want to do, I want to get over to the side of Johnny Depp's face and then fill in all that blue, that dark blue that is between them. So that's what I'm trying to do next. I know that's going to take me a lot of time, but this is the first really big project that I am just so all in on. So when the mood strikes me and I want to work on it, I'm letting myself work on it because I want to get this done. So this is yeah, one of my first big, large, full coverage pieces that I actually really am jazzed to work on. But speaking of full coverage pieces, I'm really jazzed to work on. The other thing I worked on, of course, was Jelly World, which is my HAED stitch along piece. As a lot of you know already, that the HAED stitch along started in January, and we get a year to finish our piece. We could choose 12 pieces. So I chose Jelly World, and this is where I'm at. And that is 29,547 stitches. We currently have 2 sections, and last night I was very excited to get this down to the bottom of the second section. So this one was a little weird because we get 4 pages at a time. So from here to here, oh, about here is 4 pages. We got on our second installment this teeny little strip over here. So one more page over here, but it's a strip, and then 3 pages here. So it actually only goes to about here, which is weird, but yeah, it's okay. So I have started working on section 2. I haven't finished section 1. You can see there's a bunch of stuff up in here, and then this guy, there's a bunch of confetti that I'm just ignoring, so I can do this stuff right now because it's more fun and I'm getting more stitches done doing that stuff. So this is where I'm at. This is just one of those pieces that honestly I'm awestruck by how pretty it is. It's working up so nice, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how this would come across. It looked too detailed to be as small as it is. It's going to be about 90,000 stitches total. So it seemed like we might lose some detail, but we really haven't. This is just so pretty to me. So I am on track to finish the whole thing, which is crazy to me. 90,000 stitches in 1 year on one piece sounds just insane. But I'm working to get ahead right now because I couldn't stitch on this at all while I was in Telluride, because I use my computer, my laptop for Pattern Keeper, and it just felt like too much to bring that with me. And then also, since we were with friends, I felt like that's not going to come off nice if I'm sitting there with all my stitching stuff, like ignoring everybody. So I didn't do that. Probably should have, but I didn't. So kind of making up for lost time a little bit, but I am still ahead. I think tonight, or at least tomorrow, if I continue at the pace I'm at, I will have finished all of the stitches I need to have done for April. Today is the 11th, April 11th, and I will have finished all the stitches for April. So I'm going to keep going with that. I am not going to slow down. I am not going to take a week off or anything. I'm going to keep going because I think I need to get ahead as much as possible. And then we will celebrate at the end. So my current plan is to keep going for these big swaths of color that I can do, and just ignore all of the confetti for now. Save the confetti for another day when, when I have to get stitches done, but I'm not like needing to get a ton done because I can move much faster on these bigger parts. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm super excited for that still, which makes me really happy because I am a serial starter, as you all know. I have 50 something whips right now. Yeah. And I've already started more this year. So, ooh. And my free spot on my WIPGO this year, I don't know if I told you guys. My free spot is to kit something up and start it. So I have a lot of charts waiting for that. So there'll be a new start whenever we get that 13. All right. So that is all of the cross stitch. Let's talk about my other crafts. First of all, my Sand Harbor shawl, which is this beautiful colorway. You can see it better on that side, from gray to blue. This is the shawl. I've been working on this for a while. I took this with me on my transatlantic cruise. I took it with me to Telluride, so you can see them getting that lighter gray moving in. Sadly, I got a few rows done in Telluride, and then I realized that I was off. So I've got about 4 rows to frog. So this is going in timeout again for a little bit. Any of you who do any of these crafts, seriously, timeout is a good thing. I'm going to wait until I'm not mad at it anymore. And it's just going to sit in a corner and it's going to wait for me and it's going to think about what it did. Okay. So this is not even that hard of lace. It really isn't. It's beautiful. This is beautiful lace, but this is not hard. If this kind of stuff scares you, talk to me. I'll help you out. It's not that hard. However, if you are not in the right mind frame, it's really easy to skip a stitch or mess up. And sometimes you think, oh, it's okay, fix it, we're fine. Only to find out later that you're not. So this does require attention. This is not mindless. And that's what happened to me. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it in timeout for a little bit. And then one day when I'm in a mood to frog, I will frog out those rows and we will go back and we'll be just fine. So, another thing that I took with me, actually, the third thing that I took with me, and I really should have taken more projects, but I convinced myself that 3 was enough. Silly, silly girl. So, another thing I did with this is called the cocoon cardigan, cocoon sweater, something like that. Anyways, it's on Ravelry. This is basically a granny square forever. One huge granny square. Honestly, I feel like this is too simple and I might frog it out. But this was great for working in the car because once you had the pattern down, it's just granny, granny squaring away. So this was my car project. Telluride is about a 6-hour drive from here. So we had a lot of car time. So I did quite a bit of crochet. And this was just so good for that. However, I don't know, just one giant granny square. And I even thought about it before I started working on it. Like, do I really want just a giant granny square? Because that sounds boring. And it is kind of boring. But the idea is you make this giant granny square and then you're going to fold it in half, seam a bit, leave some armholes, and then you wear it. So it's a very, simple sweater. And that is cool. And I just love this color, by the way. This is a Pound of Love that I got. The color is called Cascade, which is hilarious. Cascade. Um, so this color is just one that I really love very much. And I got this in the Joann's closing sales, which weren't that much of sales really. And this was good to keep me busy in the car, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm thinking I might just frog it out and make something else with this because it's just boring, just simple. I don't know. So one other thing that I've been working on is called the Habit cardigan. Similar idea. You start with a big rectangle, which I have already, this is a huge rectangle. I'm making the XL/2X size because look at how nice and big this is. Like, this is what I want in a sweater. I want to be enveloped and drowned in my sweater, okay? So this is kind of a fun pattern because you make this big rectangle, you fold it in half, you do some seaming. So here it is. You can see like I've seamed the same on both sides. And so then that makes the opening, right? And then this is too big to show. And then you add a little butt flap, which so I've got this little butt flap. And then next I need to start making, you basically work along all the way from this butt flap around all the way to the top, back down. And then you start doing rows that way. And that makes your, it kind of brings it out farther on you. And then it's ribbed. So it makes it really pretty. I don't have, all right, sorry. I hate to do this. I should have been prepared. I don't have a picture of it. And I've decided that adding things to my video is a pain in the butt. So apologize for that, but kind of not so sorry because it is a pain in the butt. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, I do not know what is happening, but my phone is gone crazy. So this is called Habit Cardigan, and it is by the Make and Do crew. I've never even heard of that one before. I found it on Ravelry. There we go. Look, I found a picture. So proud of me. There's a picture of what it's supposed to look like when it's done. So it's not focusing. Come on, you can focus. Anyways, so it's just a really nice kind of wrap around big chunky sweater, which is what I want. And I love this color. I've sworn to people all my life that I can't wear orange, but recently I've been liking orange, so that's weird. But as you get old, you do weird stuff. That's what I've decided. But you can see this is just huge. And it's meant to be, and that makes me really, really happy. And it's warm. This is another pound of love. Pumpkin spice is the color. And what is great about this pound of love for making sweaters? I know people think I'm nuts for using it because it is acrylic, but you can throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer, and it comes out softer every time. I make a ton of stuff out of this. It's very important that you are making things that this is the right weight for. This is nice and drapey because this is on an N size hook. This lady has got the loosest crochet I've ever seen. This was supposed to be for the person who wrote the pattern a J size hook. Um, and I couldn't get gauge to save my life. I had to go all the way up to an N hook. So I started out making it because normally I can fudge it. It came out terrible. So this is my second attempt. I frogged the whole thing. I've started over with an N size hook. And I did swatch both of them. So swatches are important, but I thought I was smarter than the pattern, so I wasn't. So here it is the second time around. I'm hoping it'll be done in the next week because we are in that time of year where it's bouncing between, winter and summer. It's 80 degrees today, 78 right now. And, it was snowing only a few days ago. So it's nice to have something like that that I can cart around with me and be extra warm. So that is it for me. That's everything that I have. If you made it this far, thank you. You're crazy, but I love you for it. I hope you're all having a wonderful week and happy stitching to everyone.